Okay, so here's the finished product. We've got the flybar paddles screwed on here. We've got exactly 145 here, exactly 145 here, same distance. Thread lock on the grub screws, top, bottom. You want to make sure that the flybar paddles are level here with the flybar cage. See how the end here, you want to line it up basically with the middle of this guy. You want to make sure it's perfectly parallel to the flybar cage. Same on the other side. Perfectly parallel. You want to look at it down the bottom. This might be hard to show here, but make sure that's perfect. It's going to be flying this way. Also, turning clockwise. You want to make sure the align is facing up on these grips. It's going to be trailing edge. Leading edge would be heading towards where the ball links are. It's heading away. It's going to be going right. So you want to make sure that the airfoil goes around the flybar paddle the way it's supposed to. So the fat part on the leading edge. See how we've got it? Fat going forward. On the tail end, make sure it gets smaller towards the trailing edge. Okay, moving on to the next step. What we're going to do is take this bag 600N H5. It's got the swash plate in here, and these little guys are just going to be hand screwed in here nice and loose. So what we're going to do is pull these things out. Looks like all of them are the same, and we just want to double check in the manual. Let's see here, all these ball links, we got 3x3, 3x3, 4.75 by 9.77. Yeah, so all of these ball links are the same. We're going to put thread lock on them, and we're going to put them back into the swash plate just to make sure they're all nice and tight. Do not forget to do the thread lock. These things are only screwed in here by hand, so don't forget this step. Okay, so now you should have the swash plate all done. The ball links are in there nice and tight with thread lock. This guy should be moving around nice and loose. If not, every now and then it never hurts to put some tri-flow in there. Get it greased up, moving around nice. Tri-flow, great stuff. Put that to the side. Next bag you're going to want to pull out is this 600 NH8. Pull that guy out. It's got the main shaft in it, as well as we've got a little collar here, and the ball links, and Jesus bolt, and some grub screws to hold the collar on, as well as the mixing arm here on the washout base. So once again, let's see, toss that to the side. Cut this open. Don't want to lose any of these pieces here. Jesus bolt we're going to use here a little later, so I'm going to put this to the side for now. Okay, so again, like all the other things, these things are only hand tightened, and they've got the washers, the bearings, bearing washer, just like it says here in the manual. It's got the collar and the bearing. You just want to make sure you pull it out, get the thread lock on it. Let's see, is this the right? Hold pull these things out. You want to make sure get everything on there. This one looks good. And get some of the thread lock on the tip of my finger and run it through the thread here. Make sure you get it inside the thread. You don't want to get it in the bearings and cause your bearings to lock up, as usual. Get it in there, nice and straight. Again, you can cause all sorts of problems for yourself if you try to force it in at an angle. You never want to do that. Get it, fairly tight. You don't want to kill it. Make sure it's moving nice and freely. These little guys in here are put on by the factory. Nice, you don't have to pull back these guys out and put any thread lock on there. And do this here on the other side of these mixing arms. Get it into the washout base. Again, thread lock on the tip of my finger. Get it on the end, make sure you're getting the threads. Wipe off all the extra stuff. Get it in here again, nice and tight. Again, as always, don't get any thread lock into the bearings. You're going to create problems. And trust your thread lock, let it do its job. Then we've got these ball links, and just like we did with the swash plate, put them on here, roll them in some thread lock. You're not worrying about any bearings, so make sure you get a sufficient amount in the threads. This is silver, so you should be able to see the blue thread lock in it. Really nice. And we're going to put the ball links at the end of the mixing arms. Make sure, as always, nice and straight. And they're pretty tight, you don't want to bust it. So, same thing with this one. Gob on the end. Get the threads nice and threaded there with the thread lock, and this one goes on nice and even. Okay. So let's see how we've got it here. It's, as it says in the manual here, we're going to have this pre-set up head. The main shaft's going to come here with the mixing arms and then the swash plate. So let's put it in that order. We're going to make sure the skinny part is going to be down. The fatter part we're going to put into the head here. And you want to line up the holes here. Okay, so there's going to be the hole through the main shaft. You can see if it's not lined up, but when it is, you can see through it. And then that Jesus bolt that we put to the side earlier, and put in there. On the other side, just screw it on a little bit, just to get it started. And you want to make sure you take the time to get it on straight. Hold some needle nose pliers to hold that in place, and screw the Jesus bolt in there nice and tight. The bolt nice and tight. Okay, looking good. Again, in the picture here, the washout base, the long part is facing down, and the guides are facing up. So right here, washout base, the long part face down, guides facing up. And push that on here. and slide up with these phasing pins. Easy way to get it to stay on there now. We've already got these ball links ready to go. The A is facing on the outside because we prepped it that way. Snap it on there. On the other side we're going to do the same thing. Oop. Gotta get the arms. See, this is what happens when you don't set it up right. Looks like I had both the long arms facing the same way, so you can learn from my mistakes. Make sure you pop that guy on there first. So now I gotta find the ball link pliers, pop it off. So we're going to make sure we put this on correctly this time. Facing up, meet up with the phasing pins. Snap this on. A is on the outside. Same thing here. Snap this on. A is on the outside. The next part, swash plate. It's going to be with these 4 facing up. The smaller part of the big fat part of the swash plate is going to face down. So slide it on just like this. And what we're going to do is these little mixing arms that are coming out here, they're going to be connecting to 2 of these. It's symmetrical, so it doesn't matter which 2. They'll be the 2 opposite from each other. And we've almost got the head complete and ready to go.